got my microphone caught in my chest hair. Ow. Oh, you! Hey, how are you? Hope everybody's great. Thanks for watching. And let's do some catch up, right? We are back on the Camaro, obviously. It's right here behind me. You saw this bit of metal magic happening. We've got our AMD door skin on here. I have not body worked around the perimeter. I haven't even test fitted on the car. And that's what we're going to do today. So there's a couple of things that are going to reveal themselves today. First, does the door fit the hole? It's going to fit the hole. And come back here. The new AMD door showed up. So this is exactly how it arrived. This is why AMD stuff looks good when you get it to your door. So I'm not in a commercial. I'm just saying. It was truck freight on a pallet, and it's a door shell. So right here before your eyes, I'm going to cut this open, and we're going to test fit this door as well. And it's going to feel really stinking good for me to have the doors on this car just to see what else we need to do. Guess what? New door, new skin door. We're not done yet. There's a lot of work to do on finessing and shaping and then the priming stages, but it's kind of a milestone to get the doors. Now, then we can focus on the hood and stuff. A couple of other things I want to catch you up on. So, you've been asking me if I'm going to do a spoiler. I am. We're going to use the low profile spoiler. I can't just set this up here and stand back and ooh and ah, but this is the one, man. I've been looking at cars. We went to Good Guys Columbus, hung out with some great people, saw some incredible cars. And as much as I like the tall spoiler, I really like the low profile one as well. And I think since I'm using a flat hood and not a cowl induction hood, I think the low profile is going to be sleeker. So yeah. Well, it's an OER part. There's a little bit of work to it. It's raw fiberglass. It needs body work. Hello, spoiler alert. All of it does. But that's what I'm going to do. Here's another thing. I got this. Guess what this is? That's the man pedal. So this is a kit. It comes with the longer shaft and the fastener and the inserts, just in case the original ones are sloppy. And now we got the man pedal. I also loaded it up, got this from AMD, a new brake light switch, and I bought a new neutral safety switch. We'll worry about pedal pads later. But the interesting thing that actually I didn't know about these cars, because I've always done an automatic in a second gen, is that the original pedal arm hanger Dumaflager, it's the same one. So we got that working. And this cleaned up super nice. Little bit of action in the bead blaster, the metal's super solid, and it's factory good, ready to go. So we've been making good progress on this vehicle, despite that it hasn't been on the channel every day. And let's go look at this door. Here's the driver's side door that was on the car. Now, if you look back at the back episodes, if you haven't been following along, this thing was clobbered really hard in the bottom of the A-pillar on the driver's side, and that's, ironically, what saved this car.
And the rocker is I mean, that's your, one, it's a rocker, but first and foremost, it's your outer chassis rail.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be butt welding a chassis rail.
Yeah. I needed to pull this structure out. This had to come out. And with garbage floors in there, then the floor is a little bit flexible, right? So I think that actually helped me realign the position of the hinge pillar and reinstall the rocker panel in exactly the right place. This door is a later model door that somebody put on with the hopes of maybe getting the car where you can actually close the driver's door, and it didn't work. So it's not going to work for this car because it's just not going to work. Externally, yeah, same door pull handle pocket, different. And I don't want different interior panels. Anyway, that's why we got the AMD door. So, moment of silence for this door. And we appreciate it. We're going to send it off into whatever incarnation it's going to next. And it's kind of a parts door. I'm assuming the window regulator, the mechanism works too. So that's another assumption. So what we're going to do first, because it may or may not be my birthday, but we're going to unwrap a present. So let's go. I'm going to get some sharp tools, and we're going to see what the AMD door looks like, right? Isn't this fun? So you may notice the scrub marks here. I don't know if that's from the trucking, or maybe it's from the time that it fell over in the back of my truck on the way to the shop. I don't know, because it's a little bit, anyway. If you notice me kind of humid and perspiring, kind of sweating like a crackhead parked in front of the police station, and no offense, I survived the 80s, it was 10 years of rock and roll, no judgment here. So that's what you're seeing.
Seeing a crackhead?
No, it's what you're seeing with the sweat stains. You're not seeing a crack. You're not seeing a crackhead. I'm sweating. God. I just about sliced my arm too. All right, I need to calm down. Folgers is about as harsh as I get these days. Oh, there we go, boyo. Hot metal direct. That's right. Oh, she's all packed up and oh. What do they call this? An unboxing, box opening, boxing match? Remind me to show you the side glass too. When Ron Ryan was here, we inspected the side glass. New creeper. 2 new creepers. Knee pads. More knee pads. Okay, there's an arrow on it, so. Yeah. All right, you ready? I'm ready. First clue is the box is undamaged. That's a good sign. Okay, so I need a stand. I've got one here, but there's a door on it. There. Perfect. Inside looks perfect. Ah, look at here. Yeah, we've got the 2 captured nuts in the deeper pocket. It's the right one. 70 to 73 is the demarcation. And although this car is a 74, it still shares this interior panel detail. So, look at the outside. And I'm telling you, and you're seeing it, that this door shell is in perfect condition. I'm very excited. Very excited. And of course, at Columbus, ran into a bunch of second-gen guys, and A lot of guys ended up telling me, oh, I got a spare door. Oh, I got to go. No, it's a rust-free Arizona door. So the moment I committed to a brand new one, used ones kept popping up all over the place. And that's just how it goes. But, yeah. All right, sweet. You know what this is? Obviously that sat in one or more parts of that pinched panel. But this is now a jack pad that I can put up if I'm having to lower and raise the door without the jack pad from the floor jack bumping into the metal. So I'm going to take this and I might even glue this to a jack pad and create a little tool. Anyway, don't throw this away. We have door hinges that I've carefully marked, and months ago, after blasting and rebuilding, I pickaxed them so that they wouldn't flash rust. If you got greasy hands and sweaty hands, you keep on handling this stuff, the acids and oils on our skin will work against that stuff. So I'm going to put some gloves on, and what we're going to do also is I'm going to put these hinges on the door, and we're going to test fit them. It's like this. It's like that. All right, gloves. Just in case you think I tore up a good later model door and that I shouldn't have tossed it off the stand. Look, this is what we were facing repairing this one. We got an enormous oil can in here. We've got gobs of filler here. It's rusty down there and it's rusty on the inside. Big dent right there. Well, that wasn't there before, but it's a boat anchor, so. All right, so we've got our fasteners that we bagged and tagged months and months ago. Now I know where they all are. So what I'm gonna do, since this is a brand new threaded insert in this door, I'm going to just add a little bit of spray lube on these fasteners. Really and truly, we should probably run a tap through and chase them, but this is kind of my version of that. Let's just test one. Yeah, I find that the spray lube really kind of eases things up. So we've got them labeled also, so driver's bottom, driver's top. And the drift just pulls that plate up into alignment. Highly recommend. We were doing live seminars on panel replacement at the Columbus show at the AMD booth, and we won an award for best booth. It was awesome. Eddie Sabreco worked really hard on it. We all conceived it last year, and it sounded really strange, but it was a lot of fun. We put a floor pan in a 73 Challenger and used a bunch of Eastwood tools. Talk tech with a bunch of guys, and I got to meet Shorty from Shorty's Dream Garage and Iron Resurrection. Super nice guy, really good technician, does training too. Anyway, we talked about a couple of must-have tools, and one of them was that drift and a nice set of drifts. Other one is a set of T-handles, and then the friction jack, the monkey on a stick. We'll talk about that when we start lining sheet metal up. So what I'd like to do is kind of find a middle ground with that. I'm going to get the other one started, make sure that we can do both of them together. Play nice. Okay. There was one that just wasn't happy. And I had little mini impact Summers. Now it's Knowers. I want to find it because I need it. It's not there. It's not over here. Had it. I might want a socket on it. Maybe I am a crackhead. All right, found it. So like I said, I want kind of middle ground, up, down, middle, left, right, middle-ish. I found a box of brand new door hardware that I'm going to use in the internal hinge plates instead of the old stuff, because one of these guys let me down. These are going to be spares, they're going to be backups. This is my relief team, kind of holding the bench down, but we're going to put them over here on the shelf, second string. And these are my new door fasteners. There's nothing wrong with secondary fasteners, aftermarket fasteners. I go to Tractor Supply and get fasteners, but when you have the correct hardware, there's a couple of things that the washers are made into the fasteners, and you've got an alignment nub here. These alignment nubs were made for the assembly line, so somebody can take a stab at it. They're meant for efficiency, right? And you don't risk cross-threading right off the bat. So I like using the original hardware with these details or replacement hardware. That's just me. We are still going to give it a little bit of shop stuff, because I don't know what's in there. I might have epoxy in there. I might have sand. So a really good idea when all those things are stacked up is to chase the threads. So that's what we're going to do. And that's another reason that I like to use hand tools instead of pneumatic tools, and certainly impact tools, when we're doing restoration work. Because, sorry for the loud noises if you're ASMR sensitive. Anyway. All right, so I've run all those three through. We're going to do the bottom plate. Just a little bit persnickety. We've got a clear path. And although my good buddy Tommy Boschers once taught me that cross threads are tight threads, it was a tongue-in-cheek statement. I don't really want cross threads because we're going to have these doors off multiple times in the process of metalworking, priming, blocking. I may or may not have the doors blown off the car when I paint. So I want to make sure that everything's got a clear path. All right, so we got 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom. 16th, there we go. 1/8, all righty. So will this work? Yep, there we go. And this one. Yep, there we go. Now we have our alignment tool. Now let's talk about the door shell. I've got my handy dandy clapped out floor jack with the door thing. And you guys have asked me about this. I can't remember where I got it. I've had it for a long time. I may have gotten it from Eastwood, and it's designed to bolt down into the shaft of where the cup is on the floor jack, and I've welded it too. It's just a good piece of kit, as my buddy Chris would say. Because despite being unloaded, these doors are still pretty heavy. How heavy, Evan? Dang heavy. That's how heavy. there. That's better. I like that better. All right. I can kind of see where I need it. We're right up above the kind of the rocker right now. And this one's no problem. But I'm going to solve this problem right now. We're snug there, so hang on. Remember I was saying how handy the drift tools are? Now I can get that fastener in there. Probably don't need the third one up on the top hinge base, but I feel better with it in there. And I also get to chase the threads. But with the third one in there, I know that this mounting surface is where it needs to be. So that's good. Me likey. All right, so there's that. Now we can ease this silly sucker in there. All right, now I can see how goofy my hinge alignment is. Well, that's not horrible. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Uh-oh. I've got a really small drift pin, but it's in the other shop, sitting on the toolbox. The one that has a side cabinet, and then the top drawer is another set of drift pins, and they're carefully packaged in there right beside the clecos. Also, it's 100 degrees outside, and I'm in a metal building that kind of mimics a giant-sized microwave in the dog days of summer, which we're in. If you look up there, we've got the little mini split that could, and it's just pumping out cool air. It's doing great, but it's not keeping up. So, all right, so now let's do that. I'm going to pull this kind of back a little bit and let it down like that. What did that do? Oh, that's got it at the right level. But you can see how that pivot action happens. I'm letting the back of the door down, which is bringing it forward that way, which is what I need. More. So now I can persuade that to go a little more into the closed position. Come back here. Look at all the adjustment we've got in those hinges. It's infinite. And we want about a 3/8 to a quarter between the bottom of the pillar and the top of the door frame. And we go front, back, side, side. I'm going to get all the fasteners in first, he says while struggling, trying to get the fasteners in. Here we go. Good thing about having everything in there first is that I can have the door kind of in a closed position, sort of prop it up, and then I can adjust in, out, up, down, back, forward, all from one position with the door kind of locked in. So that's my goal here. need one more because I used one for the other thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. Okay. Wow. All right, so that's got us. The 1/8 inch locator finally went in. It was a combination lock. Now I could snug these guys up. And move on to the bottom one. All right, so plan B. It's kind of a door on the car, right? Let's see what that does. No, it's way off. It's way off. So we're super tight right there. But it fills the hole, right? Okay, so now we can start the finesse process. So I've always said, when we're aligning our doors, we align them to a fixed point. We have a fixed point of reference here. So our fixed points are the rocker and the quarter panel. The way I was taught is to line up the rocker first and then line it up to the quarter. And then double check here. And that way you get it nice and square in the hole. So I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to use this. I'm actually going to cut it off and I'll make two. But this guy is going to fit on the cup of my other floor jack right there. Spread the load out over 6-inch area. And I can slide it, move it, use it for leverage. So, yeah. Thanks, AMD. So in my world of first do no harm, we're going to try to do exactly that. So there is my load spreader, packing material, and I'm going to look in that box and see if there's more of that stuff. So I know we're way up, but I want to give this support. So that's good enough right there. Because I'm also going to loosen off these hinges. Because I'm too high. It's too close right there. Anyway, so I've referred to this as my slapping spoon, but it's also a really good adjuster. So I'm going to kind of hold that in right there. Ooh, immediately. All right, so that opened that up. You can see, all right, right there. All right, so that's good enough for that. This needs to come out. It needs to come out top and bottom. Yeah, look here, especially at the bottom. We've got a 1/4 inch inset right there. And of course, I can throw an angry wet cat through the gap, but we got to start somewhere. So we're starting at the rocker. So I'm going to try and make this a flush match right here by the adjustment on the hinge. That's the hinge to the door frame. And that's really loose. That one's really loose. And this one is snug. So leaving that one tight, it allows me to pivot off of this one, and I can go like that. They're all loosey-goosey. We should have enough adjustment in here where we don't have to shim anything. Anyway, I might have to come back to this. But I want something in there. I want a pry bar. I need a pry. Oh, hey, I've got pry bars. This, my friends, is a pry bar. It's an I-beam pry bar. It's kind of sick. I love it. Not yet. All right. So that's all we're going to get out of that bottom hinge just exactly now. All right, that's better, but it's still not great. So it brought it out. You can see here, it did bring it out some. So now it needs to come down. I'm sliding my fingertips in here, and it's pretty tight there. So now, obviously, this is the indicator. This door needs to come that way. So when I loosen the hinge off here, it's going to kick it that way, but it's going to close it at the top. So I refer to this as walking it forward. So we'll loosen that, drop it, tighten it, and then raise it, and tighten it, and it... I was nearly a TikTok dancer. Just saying. All right, so... All right, so that just fell. That helped. Do a little bit. And also, kind of all bets are off. Oh, we're getting there. That's kind of dropping down. Okay, so yeah. Come over this way, camera guy. Our gap's closing up. Our style lines are getting closer. And obviously, we still need to come down, because that's going to allow that to go into there. We might have to do some adjustment, but that's better. So I'm going to snug the top up and loose the bottom. There we go. That's fine. I knew it was going to do it, but we can manually lift it up, and right there. See, we're coming together. We're coming together. Okay, all right. So jack and pad. So what I'm looking at, obviously, is realigning the body style line right there. So I'm going to go just slightly above just to allow for some gravity to take over. And now I'm going to snug this up over here, Mr. Bottom Hinge. You just sort of reading the panel. It'll talk to you. It'll let you know what it needs. All right. Yeah, I didn't overcompensate quite enough. You look at this, you could see it's slightly down, right? Pull my pad out. It's not bad, though. All right, so I'm going to lift that up just a taste more. But I'm also going to lift it up. It needs to come that way. It needs to come back. I'm going to overcompensate on the bottom, lift it too far, tighten the bottom, loosen the top, and then ease it back down, and that'll walk it back. There's pressure. What would be really nice is if I torque this ratchet down and laid my hand open on this sharp edge right here. That's kind of my secondary goal. Stitches. All right, so here's what I'm also going to do. This is a light gray sealer. I'm going to mark that, and that's going to tell me whether it goes back or not. It's going to talk to me. We're going to mark it there. What do we got, a 16th-ish? Mark it there as well. Oh, I need my leaf fuller markers. Oh, you dummy with the big Sharpie. I got the leaf fuller markers. All right, so I can still tell. We know we need to, that way. I think it moved. I think it moved substantially. All right. Yeah. So I'm not sure I wanted it to move that much. I'm going to come down just a taste. All right, let's roll with that. Let me get all this adjusted back. All right, so that brought it closer here. Now I need to, yeah, it's better. So wide right there. I need to move the top hinge, drop it back. So I'm going to put some, again, pressure on it. And what I'm realizing is that my alignment holes were made for the other door. And so it's kind of the Wild West right here, because these plates are restricted now with my pin in there, and it's not doing me any favors. So I'm going to try one more adjustment with that 1/8" drill in there and see what that gives me. And that's all we got. Get out of there. Oh, we're getting better, folks. Better. But I know I need to come back more. Yeah, it needs to come back at least 1/8 of an inch. So, come here, camera guy. I'm going to hold this door flush. You look at this gap right here. Right there. See all that space? Right in here. That's about where it needs to set. So now, since I'm coming up on a little bit of a closer adjustment, I'm going to stack up a bunch of wooden shims. So that way, the door's not going to go in there. It's going to give me an idea of the natural seat. So hang on. All right, I kind of think that's about where it needs to go. It's 3 sections of a wooden paint stir stick. So when I check it there, it's sort of flush. Now, when we get to the point of bodywork on this car, we're talking about a couple of different things. One of the things we're going to be talking about is why I have 2 sets of door weather seals. And I'll leave you to speculate right now with that. As a matter of fact, if you want to leave comments in the comments section as to why I bought 2 sets of door seals for this car. Best answer wins, I don't know, 10% off on all Eastwood products, something like that. How's that sound? Okay, so right there. Okay, now look on the outside here. We're pretty stinking flush. If you look straight down on there, yeah, right here. Look at that. It's pretty flat, man. That's going to be good enough for me to set my gaps, right? So that's the purpose of that. And I never want to set a door with the striker bolt in place. I want it to have a nice natural seat to where it lines up with a lot of different things. All right, so here's what the other thing we notice. Look at this. It's in too far, right? This bottom bolt. That's pretty loose, and I can get the other two in the closed position. There, that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so that gives me, it's funny what happens when you have a lever that's long enough. Ooh, that's way better. Way better. Okay, so I'm going to snug that. Still inset a little bit, but we brought that out pretty nice and flush, right? That's not bad, man. Yeah. It's still a bit of a gap, but we're not done. We're not done at the back, but we're getting closer. So what I'm seeing now, I'm seeing the rocker. The gap is okay, it's still tight. And the door shell needs to come out against my door. I've absolutely screwed up my style line, but that's okay. It's almost unimportant right now because we're still in the process of walking that door back. And I haven't even started manhandling yet, man. I've seen manuals for the mid-50s. I've actually got I think it's called the Panel Bumping Guide, but it shows assembly line techniques for lining door panels up with giant 2x4s, 4x4s, leverage points, big rubber-faced hammers. Yeah, it's what it takes sometimes. So I'm going to tell you guys, because we're looking at time here, I'm going to tell you guys how long it took us to align each door on average. And just to give you an idea, and honestly to remind me how long I've taken on this car. But here's an interesting thing. I'm looking at this right here. I set my Sharpie line on the epoxy right here. We've come back, it's over 1/8 of an inch. And we're getting better here, but we're still not there yet. We've got at least another 1/8 to come back, and the door's got to sit down again. So, more work, right? It's okay. The other thing is this. Here's the elephant in the room on this particular door shell. This peak right here, that kicks in, right? So we've got, I'm just going to draw on it. There's our edge of the quarter, and here's the edge of the door. We're going to have to make an adjustment on there, probably. I'm not going to do it yet because I want both sides to match. I'm going to get this to line up here and on the rocker first, and then we're going to call it aligned. But and then we're going to compare it to the other side. And I'm going to match the curvature, whether it's adding fill or steel into the quarter or taking some away from this door shell. And it's just part of the process, man. The door shell is perfect. It's great. It's a rust-free example. It's a way head start. And we're going to have to adjust it a little bit more with the metal cutting offing tools. So anyway, onward and upward. So I noticed something. Along the bottom of this door edge, there's a little flaw in the stamping on the corner. So I want to point that out. It's like it arcs down right there. Because we got, it's a progressive gap, but it seems like it arcs down. So what I'm going to try and do, I want a clear idea of this thing. And what I want to mark it out. All right, so I think, and this is seat O the pants. All right, so you can see right here, as you can see before me, right here, and then the gap closes, and my line continues to be straight. So that's a curious anomaly to me. So that's a stamping flaw, no big deal. I'm glad that I found that before I started madly adjusting the door. So now I can adjust that with the hammer. Worst case scenarios, I have to slice and dice and weld that back. That's okay. But I wanted to not chase my tail on that and have that be something that affects my door fit. So what we're also doing, here's foreshadowing of what we're going to be doing here. These are, my earplugs don't look too hard at the nubulas on them. From this point, we're pretty okay there. That's, it's okay. I might correct that. I might, whatever. We'll file fit that in a minute. We're still up at that end, and I'm going to walk that door back. The way I'm going to do it is by slightly loosening off the hinges and using an MFH and my trusty maul, like so, and tap it in. So the reason I'm doing that is because I could get a tiny, tiny adjustment. If I loosen all the bolts off, it's just going to go and fall. And we don't want that. So, and the other way, I have to crystallize this thought. The other reason I want to do it like that is because if I support the back door, totally loose the hinge, I lose the perspective of my fit on the backside. So, all right, so there we go. So I have to go and start being smarter than myself and take the stuff off of the shiny paint. So the way I'm going to do this, okay, so that's loose, and that's all I'm going to loosen off. I think that plate will slide if I do this. We're going to take a pause for the cause. Hang on. Two things. I forgot my leaf fuller markers that are super tight, and I wiped off the other one off of the hinge. I just took some carb cleaner and wiped off the Sharpie mark. And the other thing was I got camera guy some earplugs because, yeah, we don't want to be stupid. And I don't want the camera guy to lose their hearing. There's that and that. Look at that nice tiny lead. Dude, I love these things. So I'm going to mark this one as well. And that should give me, yeah, I'm just going to go down here. I don't know why. All right, so that gives me the old location. I'm going to do this. All right, check this. It didn't take much to move that. And I'm not destroying the hinge or anything like that, but look at this, the subtle movement that I get out of that. And it's getting better. I still need to walk it down some. Keep going. Gotta move my creeper up. Wow, okay. Yeah. Now we're talking gap. That even improved that. All right, so honestly, if I'm doing a Concours restoration on this car, that's gapped, brother. We're gonna tighten it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna snug this upper. And I'm going to loosen the lower slightly there. And that one was already kind of loose. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ask a little bit more of it. Now, I want the door as closed as possible. I've got that. So I've got tension on it from the back. Okay, do you see that? Take a closer look in there. Now we've got close to 1/8 of an inch there. I didn't need much. So now, I back off the top hinge, give it a little bit of a love tap till that line comes back down. No, the other tight. All right then. You see what I did? I kicked it up, closed this up a little bit. Now we're going to come back just a taste. I'm done messing around with this. I am done messing around with this. Snug these guys one more time. So I'm looking at a pretty dang good door gap. And now I know what's causing me to pinch tight at the front of the door to the rocker. I've got my, say 1/4 inch or so there. And I've just got to do a little bit of massaging. As a matter of fact, we're gonna try something. I'm gonna get my favorite hammer, since I got ear protection on. We'll do a little bit more rubbing right there. There we go, look at that. Yep. No quarter panels or doors were harmed during the exercise of this door fit. Is it perfect? No. Am I going to need some filler? Yeah. So, I ain't afraid no body filler, but I do like that door gap. All right, so, take the W on that one. Sweetness. So now, if I want to, I could put the striker in, but I don't. All right, we have now, this is upper pass. I thought it said driver. No, it doesn't. So pass goes that way. And same drill. Got to use, well, I had all the tools laid out. Not a hammer. Why does it seem like this door is easier? Maybe it's because I've lost 10% of my body weight due to the excessive temperatures in this pole barn steel building. Maybe that's it. And I'm dehydrated. Yes, I'm covering up rust with this hinge. No, I'm not done taking this apart. When I finally do figure out what color it is, I'm going to paint these hinges separately. And I don't know what my paint strategy is for this car yet. I don't know if I'm going to jam it out and put it together and then spray it, or whether I'm going to spray it totally blown apart. The answer to that question lies in whether I choose a solid color or a metallic color. Because with a solid color, I don't have to worry about orientation of metallics falling into one another, aligning themselves perfectly. I can blow it apart and paint it like that, and then we can build it back again. So I don't know yet. I got to choose a color. We're a long way from color. So now I'm going to get my handy dandy thing. Now with this door, I have the 1/8 inch alignment marks on these hinges as well. I am using the same door frame, same hinges. So this will work, it's just a different skin. So we're going to use this and make sure that our hinges are in the right place, there, and use that guy, probably the other one also, and then I'll see, yeah, so. There's one on the fresh paint. Let me get the second one, wherever I put that. You know what? I wonder if that's 1/8 of an inch. I think it might be. It's the shank of a rivet, and I need my drift pin, my small one. Oh, I get so tired of me. So there we verified that this rivet, shank of the rivet, is 1/8 of an inch. There's my other alignment thingy. I wonder if a guy could take a long, no, never mind. Okay. Oh, Lord mercy. All stuck. All right, not stuck. I should probably, I kind of got ahead of myself. I want it balanced if I can. So I'm going to slide it back. That's a little easier. All right. So I'm going to go by this gap right here, which is supposed to be about 1/4 inch, bottom of the A-pillar to the top of the door frame. And I'm thinking that's going to get us in the ballpark, and it does. There's our hinge. Punt that a little bit. Just had it. Pretty close, except not. All right, so when you look at that bottom hinge, you can see as I'm lowering the back of the door, our leverage action, and that, I'm gonna guess right there is probably lining up the holio. As I'm running these bolts in, and in the back of my mind wondering why they're a little on the snug side, it occurs to me that I never ran the bolts into the hinge plates and cleaned out the threads. So there you have it. Silly. Oh, ha! How about that? All right. You know what I'm going to do now that that's in there? You know, we'll snug it up. So that way I only have to think about one axis at a time. And I don't know why that guy, oh I do, it's crooked. All right, so we're gonna leave that one alone until I can get a straight shot at it, and I'll realign and readjust. So bottom one is in, top one is located. So I'm gonna switch jacks. Oh, that's sad, look at that, sad droopy door. Thank this one for its service. Set you off to the side. Get my homemade cup slot. Ow, that was my finger. All right, now we're looking better. That's pretty. It's ish, is what it is. We got our 1/8 inch demouflager. There it is. All right, so now we've got our alignment pins in place. Rocker gap is questionable, but I can move that door up. So I'm going to snug this bottom hinge And it at least gets us a starting point, right? All right, I'm happy with these, but I'm not happy with that. This whole door shell's got to come up substantially. That's okay, we have room. But I do have to loosen these off. I only got two in the top hinge. But I can bring that joker just by saying a little prayer, and I can bring it way up that way. And that's not horrible right there. We're good this way. That is smoking. That's actually really nice. I don't know what we are front to back. I'm gonna look at the other side. We're close to what the other side is, folks. This A-pillar is a little proud of the door, but our gap, pinky, I think it's actually not bad. Yeah, pinky. All right, good. So there's my scientific measurement there. My rocker gap at the bottom of the front is not bad at all. I want a 1/4 inch on here. And I'm gonna say that that's about right. Sunk a little bit. All right, so this is the first look I'm getting at this. This is pretty even all the way down to here. It squishes a little bit there, but I could tap that in, right? We can give it a little love with the fender. I'm sorry, with the hammer. Ah, sweat running my eyes. Burns. Okay, so it's pretty good down to about there, and even down there, that's a pretty even gap. Where I'm running into trouble is it's pretty wide right there. But it can come, no, it can come down. Yep, I'm looking at it, and it can come about, shoot, almost a 1/4 inch down. Let's see. How about that? Well, brought it about a 1/4 inch down. Still pretty okay. There's one bolt that I'm not happy with, that one right there, so it's all cockeyed and crooked. That's how we need you. There we go. Yep. If I had a little impact on that, we would have marred the threads inside that hinge plate, and that's never a good place to be. Good enough. All right, so now what do we got? We've got a good gap, top to bottom there. Might be a little proud at the bottom. No, when I push it in, it's pretty good. I'm very happy with this business right here. Style line matches up. Spectral highlight is good. Rocker gap, good. This transition is good. Yeah, I just opened it up, made it a little more even right there at the style line. Satisfied my OCD for the moment. So that brings us towards putting the front sheet metal on. And right now, I got the back crack waterfall happening. That ain't good. This shirt is like SpongeBob moist pants. That's gross. I'm gonna stop. I might go hydrate in one of several different ways, or perhaps two of several different ways, and also adult beverage. So I'm gonna take the win. Let's do a recap. Skin, original door frame, hinges, rebuilt, brand new, no binding, no craziness. This door, brand new AMD door shell, hinges, rock solid, rebuilt, brand new. Caps line up, a little bit of tap here and there, and this thing came right back around, man. I bet that would even prime out. I bet polyester primer would get that. I got a little bit of work to do to open up that gap at the bottom, but my style line, gosh, you got to look at it from here. Straight on, camera guy. You see that style line? See how it goes nice from the back to the front? You can see the shadow in there. That's what I'm after. That is what I wanted. One bite at a time, it's coming together, and it's starting to look like a Camaro. So I hesitate to put the front sheet metal on because if you remember, my buddy Ron Ryan brought me a new subframe, and I've got it bodyworked and painted, and it's ready to go under here. So I've got to solve the problem of brakes and or if I'm going to modify the suspension. So we've reached a nice stopping point, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thanks for and hitting the buttons and that. I look forward to driving this silly thing, and we'll take you with us. So thank you so much for watching Paintucation and all the different things, all the ways you're supporting us, even if it's just hitting the button. It's just nice to have you here as we move forward. So that's it. Got any questions? Put them down below and answer the trivia question, and yeah, we'll get a good bingo game going. See you guys next week.